Hey, my amplified unit, top of the morning. It's very early, so I don't have my assistant Sasha with me, which means BC is getting a jobber entrance this morning. No theme music. I'm brewing my own coffee, preparing my own notes. The struggle is real, damn it. But I will have Sasha here later this afternoon. We will have theme music for Amplified Live, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, man, on the channel. Every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. The schedule is a little wacky this week. I'll have more details later this afternoon. But for now, BC's getting the jobber entrance, so... We will still be going over the last 2 hours of Raw, August 1st, 2022. Damn it. Io Sky, in her Raw debut, man. Rekindling that glory she had with Bianca Belair from NXT in those days. We're going to talk all about that and a lot more. Tommaso Ciampa getting his moment. What it all means, dissecting it all. And if you're a new subscriber, you don't understand why we're just doing the last 2 hours. What about the first hour, BC? Well, first of all, if you're a new subscriber, welcome. Welcome to the channel. You will find out quickly we are the best, the smartest, the most badass group in this community. And that is by design, because BC only accepts the smartest, the best, the most badass subscribers. So if you're not... you will quickly get Das Boot right out of the unit. We are a very prestigious group in this community, damn it, and we keep it that way. So welcome is my point if you are a new subscriber. And on top of that, if you are new, you probably don't know that most Mondays we're going to go live for the first hour. A live reaction, live watch-along review, because BC likes to get a gauge of this 3-hour show together, so we're not bullshitting one another, so that we're all on the same page. We're seeing it together. Is this a good show or is it bad? What trajectory is it going in? So I love going live for the first hour, and that's what we did last night, and now this morning we'll be going over the last 2 hours. And again, later this afternoon, we'll be live on the channel for what we call Amplified Live. It's basically a sports center, but for pro wrestling with your host, BC. On this very channel, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Again, we got a wacky schedule this week because we got some changes for the weekend. So I'll discuss this afternoon. So that's the deal. That's why we're going over the last 2 hours. Now, I will recap hour one for you if you did miss it, though, because I do have to prepare my own coffee yet again. Let me actually prepare it so I can be amplified for this. But I'll recap hour number one because it's only going to take me a minute. You know, a lot of excitement went into this show last night just because, you know, the changing of the guard. Everybody's so hopeful for the change that Triple H is going to bring. We've been seeing nuggets of it here and there, right? I mean, we're already seeing. There's just... Vince McMahon is clearly still in charge, even though he's retired in title, which, by the way, he's actually resigned, is the wording officially. What he gave to the public is retirement, and that's to cover up the smoke from this investigation. So... Vince McMahon is clearly still in charge, but Triple H does have some power now. He's got the say. They want to make it look like there's a new regime in place, and we see that. But when Triple H makes a move, you see that Vince McMahon needs his stamp of approval on it, right? Like Triple H wants Io Shirai in WWE. She was about to go back to Japan, so Vince says, okay, but damn it, she's going to be Io Sky. Well, what the fuck? You ain't got to change her name, brah. But if you're Vince, yes, he does. He needs to feel like he's doing something, right? You want Tommaso Ciampa to get a big push? Okay, but Miz is going to be right there, and you see him last night after Tommaso's big win. Miz is fucking squeezing his fucking head. Look at the eyes of Tommaso. He looks like a fucking... he looks like a... you ever see like a pet owner that's got the little fucking little chihuahua, little dog or a little cat, and they're squeezing them, and the pet is like, put me the fuck down, bitch. Fucking Doug is like, let me down, bitch. I'm not a fucking stuffed animal. I mean, fucking Miz is squeezing Tommaso like he's his little bitch. You know, that's by design, man. Vince McMahon wants Miz right the fuck there. You know, so you're seeing some change, but if you know, you know. Like, if you followed Vince for so long, you know that Vince is he's the one approving all of this. But we're taking it, right? Beggars can't be choosers. We're taking the changes, man. No 24/7 title. Put me in the category of fuck yeah. No Dana Brooke being chased around the ring. Put me in the category of fuck yeah. Extra minutes on match time. Put me in the category of fuck yeah. Io Shirai, Io Sky. Whatever the fuck you want to call her, man. Her finally having her place on the main roster. And hopefully getting good booking in the future. Yes, put me in the category of fuck yeah. Dakota Kai coming back to WWE. I mean, of course we're going to welcome all of this. And we hope more changes to come. Every show we should be seeing these changes. But we also need to see the bigger changes. And I'm talking about format. And I'll say this right now, man, because this is ever so true. And this may... A lot of you guys may not have even ever thought about this, but when I say these words, hopefully it rings a bell. Because what I'm about to say is so fucking important. Way more than match time. Storylines. Your main goal when you produce these shows, Monday Night Raws, SmackDown, your main focus, you should be encompassed by this one mission statement. Produce epic storylines. The extra minutes on the matches, 20, 25 minutes, bangers! One banger after another. Save it for the pay-per-view. I'm not saying every show can't have a good match or two, right? Throw 15 minutes here, 20 minutes over there. Okay, but do not deliver matches that should be at a pay-per-view. Do not give it away on free TV. We have seen over the years so many, not just shows, companies have failed doing that. Not trying to name WCW as one of those, but if the shoe fits, I have seen that backfire so many times. And when we just say, hey, we're getting longer matches, that's good to a degree. Are we getting epic storylines? That's when I'm really going to see change. When the format changes. When storylines take precedent. When storylines are now back to the forefront, pro wrestling will thrive once again. Mark my words, guys. You can add 10 minutes to every match. You can make every match 30 minutes. It will not make a difference if people do not give a fuck. We'll sit there like trained seals, we'll clap and we'll say, this is awesome. This is awesome. And then we'll change it up in 2 minutes and go, fight forever. Fight forever. We'll do all of it, right? We'll give a standing ovation afterwards. Some people won't be bothered. They'll sit down and give the golf clap. But we'll do all that. We'll go through the motions of watching performers and their work rate. We'll watch 4 suicide dives, 5 moonsaults, people running around like ping pong balls, and we'll clap. But you won't have people invested. They won't truly care until you have epic storylines. It's just the way it is, man. I'm telling you this out of watching this product for over 3 decades myself and doing a lot of history, going back into the history books, a lot of research from decades before. Stories, larger than life characters, stories we give a fuck about, that we can be captivated by, that we grasp onto. Without that, there's nothing. So we got match time last night. That's good. The no 24/7 title? Awesome. Once again, no fruit roll-ups, I don't believe. JR9 Gaming, we may be finally be able to put that to rest. The roll-ups. Maybe. We'll give it a few more weeks. So, trust me, that's all welcomed. That's all great. I applaud that, right? It's the little things, they add up. Some of these little things are not so little. And if you let them add up, it becomes one big issue. So that's great. I'm still waiting for the bigger things. How long does that take? A week, a month, a year? I hope not. I mean, this should have been changed for last night. You're just changing a format of a show, man. If you cannot change a format and you have a whole fucking week to do it, you probably shouldn't be in the business. SummerSlam is over. You have a 5-week build to Clash of Champions. You have 617 writers. All of these people with suits and ties backstage. And after Raw went off the air last night, even though there was many positives and things to look forward to, the one thing we still didn't have was a storyline that's captivating us. Nothing. Nothing that you can truly say got you on the edge of your seat in shock and awe, electrified for what happens next week. That's what we used to have back in the day. It didn't matter what company. If it was WCW, you had the NWO. Or you had to see what Sting was going to do. Or you had to see what Goldberg was going to fucking do next. You know, is his streak going to be fucking staying alive? Where's Sting? Where is he going to be in the rafters? What the hell is the NWO going to do? What the fuck is Jericho going to do in his antics? It was always so much fun, even WCW. WWF, of course, man. You had The Rock and the fucking Stone Cold and the McMahon situation. Mick Foley could be Dude Love if for some reason it was clicking, right? The show, man, it just got you pumped, and there was things you were looking forward to, and you knew at the pay-per-views you had to watch them. You had to, because that's where you were gonna get the bangers. That's where you were gonna get the culmination of the feuds. So last night, you know, I'm honestly, guys, I'm not trying to be the party pooper here, but a lot of people went into Raw last night and they were uber excited. They were looking forward to it so much, and I almost felt bad and sad for those people, because I was like, you're not going to get that type of change tonight, man. There was rumors that Sasha may show up. So BC was looking forward to that if it happened a little, but excitement, far from it. You know, that's like watching 100 parents wrap up a pair of socks, right? 100 different pairs of socks. Wrap it up like in Christmas wrap, put it underneath the tree. All going into their houses. 2 minutes later, 100 kids come running out of 100 different houses. All of those fucking presents are about to be opened up by those 100 kids now, and all the parents are watching. 100 sets of parents watching 100 kids open up those presents. They're all wide-eyed. They're fucking excited. What could it be? What could it be? Is it a new PlayStation? It doesn't feel it. It's squishy. What is this? They open it up, and 100 kids just got a pair of socks. And that excitement turns into... I mean, it's a gift. I can still wear them, right? They're trying to make their parents happy, but they know they're disappointed. So many people went in with such excitement, and when it was all said and done, the biggest parts of the night, if you think about it, the biggest things where you could say, wow, Triple H's changes here, is that there was no 24/7 title. I applaud. Tommaso got a push at the expense of AJ, and I hope not at Bobby Lashley. He should not be dropping that title in 2 fucking months with no real title reign. I mean, you're doing that dude so dirty. No. So I don't even know what they're going to do here. But okay, Tommaso had a big W, big night for him. What else happened, man? Edge, wait till I get to Edge. And I love Edge, but I mean, this is the same Edge, just with a haircut. But okay. Usos took on the Mysterios for the 4th time. 8th time if you count in 6-man tags. Alexa and Asuka faced each other when they were just a tag team the past couple of weeks, so now they're just one-on-one, and it was only to get to a fuck finish so they can get beat up by Bayley's crew. You know, I mean, what do you guys... I don't know what you could cling on to. The Man is coming back, right? People are excited that Becky Lynch is turning into the Man. But that's the same character that everyone turned their back on because it got stale, because it felt so forced. She was headed toward Charlotte Flair territory. Luckily, nobody can hit that status. That train is already off the track. I don't know if that could be put back on. But people turned their back on that. So what, a few months changed all of that? Or over a little over a year now, whatever it is. She wouldn't have had a baby too. But, so now we're going to get the Met. We're going to applaud that for a couple months until it gets stale again. She was putting on great work as a heel. Becky Lynch helped put Liv Morgan on the map to people that didn't believe Liv Morgan had the skills. Those matches that Becky had with Liv helped put her on the map with the casuals. And Liv Morgan has never looked back. She's had that momentum and she's never stopped it. That momentum never halted. Even when Vince tried 3 times, Liv kept that momentum. You think Becky Lynch and her heel work with that in those matches they had. Lita coming back, the best person she could have worked with, looking back at it now and at the time, was Becky Lynch, heel Becky. Heel Becky is what propelled that Lita match and feud. The little story they had, it was actually fun. Becky helped that. Becky tried to make fucking chicken salad out of chicken shit, taking on Doo-Doo Drop at Royal Rumble. She tried. Not many people could even get an iota out of that match. And of course, Bianca and Becky, until they overexposed it, was pretty decent, actually. Leading into Mania, Becky Lynch really carried her own. I didn't mind, and I actually enjoyed Becky's heel work. So now she goes back to the Mon, and I've seen this play out already. But we're going to act excited, and people are going to say, okay, well, I'd rather that than the heel Becky, but everybody turned their back on her when she was that, man, and saying she was forced and this is stale and it's just not working anymore. So BC raises these concerns, but because we're under a new Triple H guidance, supposedly, we're just supposed to let it slide underneath the rug, right? Don't address it, BC. We're just being hopeful for change right now, and anything bad, we're just going to chalk it up as a mulligan. Change takes time, BC. Let's just forget about the bads. No, I don't want to do that. I shouldn't be doing that. We're acting like Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are brand new to the company and they just got thrusted into top roles. These have been individuals in top roles for the longest of times. They're not foreign to how business is operated. So I expect big changes right from the jump. It's going to take more than just a 24/7 title being removed and some of NXT's boys and gals getting pushes and some extra minutes being put on matches. That's good. Steps in the right direction. Fine. If you don't have storylines, none of it matters. And what I witnessed last night was another 3-hour show under a new regime with no fucking storylines that we care about. Bayley, Io, and Dakota, we were hoping coming off of SummerSlam, they have a big plan for them. Do you know what it is? Thrusted already into a 6-woman tag with a cast of characters thrown together like Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa. Alexa, who literally has no direction, said that in an interview last week. Said, they don't have anything for me. I'm just Alexa with a doll. And she said, I don't like that. I don't like just being myself in the ring, but they don't have anything for me. How sad is it that Alexa has to call out her own booking? So they just throw her together with Asuka, who has been irrelevant for the longest time. That's actually criminal. Asuka has been so fucking good for so long, you just would never have known it because Vince didn't allow you to see it. And now she's just in this weird, I mean, you got the champion rubbing elbows with Asuka and Liv so that we can be thrusted into a 6-woman. I mean, that's the best you had for this Bayley thing. We knew we were going to get 6-woman tags when you saw 3 ladies. I knew we were going to get 6-woman tagged into a wall. But I was hoping that it was going to be more fun than just this. I mean, we saw 2 fuck finishes involving Bayley's crew last night. Or Asuka and Alexa had a fuck finish in hour 1, and then later in the night with Io and Bianca. So 2 fuck finishes, the brawl. I mean, we're just doing this 6-woman and it's like, damn, these ladies better be fighting in the parking lot next week. One of them better be being chased by a monster truck. I want to see these 6 ladies in aisle 5 at the supermarket brawling with a camera on it. I mean, this better have a fun storyline. You guys know I'm right, man. I don't want to see the next 4 weeks. If we're going to do these 6 ladies at Clash at the Castle, I don't want to see 4 more weeks of them just having fuck finishes, fighting one another in singles matches, or maybe tag, fuck finishes, brawling, maybe a little bit backstage. I don't want to see the normal status quo. I'm done with that, man. Pro wrestling will not survive if we do not bring back storylines. You can put 10 minutes onto every match all you want. I said this the other week when SmackDown only had 11 minutes of action, 11 minutes of wrestling, and everybody was throwing a fit and going crazy. And trust me, I made a vid a couple of years ago, or a year or two ago, when there was only 15, 16 minutes, something like that. And I was like, what the fuck? So I hear you. I mean, it's still unacceptable. But what people fail to realize is the shows, Raw, SmackDown, these should be used. These should be used to propel storylines. The shows are for the stories. Of course, some wrestling on it. You could even throw a 15, 20-minute fucking banger if you want. That's cool. Try not to deliver a match that should be a pay-per-view, though. Seth Rollins and Montez last night, I could easily, when Montez goes single, I would want to make a huge story and a big pay-per-view match out of Montez and Rollins one day. And now you kind of taint that because people are just going to revert to this and say, we already saw it, and we already saw Montez lose pretty easily to a stomp. You know, people are going to remember that like BC. I just don't know why that was needed. A tag team guy going up against Rollins. It didn't even make sense. The Prophet just come out of nowhere. But we can't criticize it because it's Triple H now, and we don't criticize H evidently. But no, it made no sense for the Prophets to come out there and have this weird match. You say, okay, it's setting up the Montez breakup. That's great. Think of 100 different ways other than giving away Montez and Rollins. So Montez is going to be turning... or heel. He's going to have his own singles run finally. So you're telling me you're just going to give away Rollins and Montez on free TV? No, bro, you can't do it. AJ Styles and Tommaso live free TV? You could make something special out of Styles and Tommaso. But we just give that away. Bianca and Io on the main roster. Man, we know what they did in NXT. Pump that shit up one day for a pay-per-view. But we're just giving a lot of things away now, and I don't know if this is going to be the status quo, the new normal, right? Just a bunch of bangers on the show, and the pay-per-views will just see the rematches, the WWE business as usual. You know, I'm okay with less bangers on the show. I'm okay with a couple of matches going 15 to 20 minutes if it means the stories are being told properly. Stories are just being told in general that we care about. So that when we get to the pay-per-view, it feels like a holiday again. And you have to see most of that card. And most of that card is not a rematch. Most of that card has an epic storyline attached to it. Most of that card you've been waiting to see. That's when pro wrestling is at its best. That's when pro wrestling, that's the only way it can survive. So a lot of people are just losing focus of that. Everybody's like having a parade because extra minutes were tacked on the matches. I'm over here when the night ended going, we still have no storyline we give a fuck about. We still have no storyline. The last good storyline that I gave a shit about was MJF and Wardlow. That seems like an eternity ago, even though it wasn't. It seems it. And that was in a different company, by the way. Salute to MJF. Man, do I miss that son of a bitch. That's a guy that just understands wrestling. Storytelling, what he needs to do on the mic, how he needs to wrestle. He doesn't need to fucking be a ping pong ball. I mean, MJF just gets it. But my point is, man, you know, and I know, I believe now I'm the only fucking reviewer, the only content creator, the only podcaster that's still really harsh on WWE. Everybody else is literally, I mean, they have gone all in on Triple H's World Wrestling Entertainment. Supposedly. It's still Vince McMahon's. And you can see all these Vince McMahonisms throughout the night. If you know, you know. But I'll play along like H has full control if you just give me storylines. You know, but nobody wants to call out this shit, man. It's just everybody has literally put on the rose-colored glasses, and we're all acting like this is literally just an all-new WWE, and it's fucking epic. We don't have one storyline right now. And you say, BC, wait, change takes time. No, it doesn't take time to give us a fun storyline on your prime time national television show. You have all of these dome pieces in Stamford, Connecticut, and you can't come up with one storyline we care about? How much time do you need? So that's my cold open. The whole point in all this cold open is storylines. You want BC to say, wow, man, this is just awesome. There's new feeling. It's a different feel. There's something in the air, man. You can tell change is here. Until I get just one great storyline. One really good. Shit, beggars can't be choosers. One really good. No, I'm not going to sip the WWE Triple H Kool-Aid. So you can call me the asshole in the community. I've been called that already. The only difference is now I'm the only one who is still hard on WWE. It's because I love it. It's because I am passionate about it. Somebody has to be honest. Whether it's Vince, Triple H, my 97-year-old down-the-block neighbor, Mrs. Jenkins. Doesn't matter who's running the company. If you're not going to produce storylines we give a fuck about, then it doesn't matter. Nothing on that show last night should have had you on the edge of your fucking seat. Not even the banger matches, let's be honest. If you're Houston, if you were part of that crowd, forget about it. Houston was sleeping from the time the event started to the time they had to be woken up, I heard. Rumor has it that literally the security in Houston in that arena, they had to literally poke everybody with a stick to wake them up long after the event was over. Like the ring was being torn down and security was poking everybody with a stick to wake up Houston. This is what I heard. I don't know. I'll do more research. Try to get in touch with Sean Ross Sapp. But this is what BC heard. So that's it, man. Now I'm going to talk some fun. You know what I mean? I'm going to talk my girl EO now. All right? I'm going to tell you what I loved. Well, a little bit. First, we got to talk about a triple threat match. Again, hour number 1, we went over live. If you want to see my candid live thoughts of hour number 1, it's on the channel. And you can gauge my unit. You can listen, watch how BC felt about hour number 1. You know, if you think I'm just being too harsh, watch that review. There's nothing I'm being harsh about. It starts with Becky in a sling. Much props to Bex, by the way, man, wrestling with a separated shoulder, but we already knew she was badass. But it starts with her saying, I'm going to be the man again when I come back. Okay. And then she gets jumped backstage just to write her off TV. And then the Street Profits oddly, for no reason, come out and interrupt Seth Rollins. So you have a tag team coming out to interrupt Rollins. And then we just give away Montez and Rollins. Montez just eats a fucking L off of a stomp. And then we go into Asuka versus Alexa, which they were just in a tag team, so now they're one-on-one. Makes no sense, but it was a fuck finish anyway when Bayley's ladies came in and just beat them up just so we can set up a 6-woman tag for the future because Bianca came out and helped. And that was hour number 1. I mean, I don't know what am I supposed to say? It was really good. It gives me hope for the future. I saw the change and the writing was on the wall. I don't know what I'm supposed to say, man. I'm still the same BC. Everyone else is just wearing rose-colored glasses now. And the manufacturer of those rose-colored glasses is Triple H. I'm on board with all these changes, but we have to get the big ones going, man. We can't wait 4, 6 months, a year, 2 years to start getting good storylines. All right, that's it. All right, I promised I'm going to hour number 2. Triple threat between Champa, Gable, and Dolph Ziggler starts hour 2. Winner takes on AJ Styles, who won a triple threat earlier in the night. That was another match in hour 1, right? The triple threat. And by the way, that was only 8.5 minutes. And AJ Styles wins with a pretty nice Styles clash onto The Miz. It was off of, I believe, a 450. So Ali hit it, and then he went right into a Styles. So it was a cool finish, but it was a triple threat, 8.5 minutes. I mean, nothing you wouldn't see on a solely Vince McMahon show. So AJ Styles did win that. Champa ends up winning this matchup. Champa collects the W with his fairy tale ending over Chad Gable. So once again, Gable eats another fuck. I mean, this poor guy. Do not buy a lottery ticket, man. You know that Powerball or whatever it is, Mega Millions. It's at like $1 billion or some shit. If I'm Gable, I stay away from any lottery. I step over every crack. I am not fucking going underneath any ladder. I'm gonna try not to break any glass because this dude doesn't need any more bad luck. He's got enough bad luck in his booking. Who knows? Maybe, I mean, he came from the NXT development. Maybe one day Triple H will throw him a bone. Maybe. But Ciampa wins this match. It got BC thinking. Do you think Ciampa can maybe go over to Papa H and go, can I have my first name back, Papa? You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't hurt, right? But I bet you Vince is like, no, he's not going to give you his first. I won't let him. So I think Ciampa's going to remain Ciampa. Edge hits the ring next. Old or original Edge, whatever you want to call it. You know, on this day, I see clearly on a day like today. What is it? I just made my own words up. How does it go? On this day, I see clearly. Everything has come to life. I think that's what it is, right? All right. Anyway, he got that song back. I thought he had like a Brood type of theme at SummerSlam. So last night he comes out with the original Edge on this day theme. Who the fuck sings that? I don't even know the fucking. Who the fuck? I don't know who said it. It doesn't even fucking matter. I'm not a fan of the fucking band. But he's got his old theme back, man. And he comes running out, pumping up the crowd, which I always love. I mean, I always loved Edge. I never thought this guy needed to change. I love that Edge. I mean, that theme music, he comes out pumping up the crowd. I mean, that's Edge. You know what I mean? The dude, he's incredible. On the mic, in the ring, grocery shopping. I mean, who knows, right? Ask Beth Phoenix. Maybe he checks off every box up there on the grocery list. I mean, everything this guy touched, he usually turns to gold. For so long, people are like, he's boring. Oh, it's Edge again, man. He's not even fun anymore. What are you talking about? Edge is amazing. Every time he goes out there, on the mic, he's still to this day one of the best. Wrestling, he's still better than 85% of the roster at least, and I'm talking skill-wise, even at his age today. So if you follow this channel, I don't know if I can speak any more praise of Edge, but it's just odd that he just has this sudden Judgment Day breakup. And then he's gone for 2 months-ish. For a full month, they're playing these vignettes. These, like, crazy vignettes, right? Cryptic vignettes. So you're thinking this dude's coming back with some, like, badass character. I mean, is this going to be, like, Bray Wyatt-esque? We don't know. I mean, these vignettes are pretty cool. It leaves a lot to the imagination. And then the dude just comes out last night. I can't even make this up, man. His original thing. And again, I love this Edge. But he just comes back with the original theme, pumping up the crowd, dressed pretty much the same. Gives a promo. He says, he gives his best VKM line, right? He says in reference to Judgment Day, I'm going to kill what I created. Remember Vince said that about WWE long ago. He kind of gave he gave it his best shot, man. Vince almost did kill what he created. He still has time to do it. But it's so odd that this is the Edge that we got. How do you... Like, what the fuck? It's the same exact Edge, just with a different haircut. Like, what was all of this for? Like, a sudden quick breakup with Judgment Day. He takes off. You have all of those vignettes for this Edge coming back. It's all cryptic. It's crazy. It's like, it leaves a lot to the imagination. And this is the Edge we got last night. It's the same Edge with a haircut. And it's the haircut that he had in Judgment Day. So you can't even say that's new. Am I the only one saying this? Or are we just going fucking epic? No negativity. Let's just swipe that underneath the rug. Let's move on. This is Triple H changed era. We only talk good. You got to remember, BC, we have our rose-colored glasses on. Again, I love Edge. He never needed to change. He fired up the crowd last night, gave a damn good promo. I mean, this is Edge. That's why I always love the dude. But, I mean, for everything that just happened over the last 2 months, to see that Edge with that theme music, with that appearance, just now chasing after Judgment Day when the show goes off the air, we'll get to that. I mean, I'm mind-boggled, man. I'm mind-boggled by this. Next up, Bianca Belair versus my gal, Io Sky. You know, Vince got to have his blueprint on that shit. This ends hour 2. This was a welcoming sight for several reasons. Number one, I fucking love Io Sky. And her wrestling on the main roster is still just so mega surreal to BC, man. Like, I still can't fathom it because I waited so long for it. My only hesitation for her getting to the main roster was, how is Vince going to use her? Well, with H having some type of power, we are hoping for the best. You got her and fucking Bianca already. Again, I would save that for pay-per-view. I would set up something really cool, storyline-wise, but we're going to rush it for free TV. So by the time, because trust me, they will eventually wrestle at a pay-per-view in the future. Whether it's this year, next year, 5 years from now. And we're already going to remember that they've been having matches. So that's why I'm against this. But beggars can't be choosers, man. Io was out there in an 18-minute match last night. And just, again, her seeing her on the main roster, man, it was just so surreal. So that's number one, why this was a welcoming sight. Number two, if you guys were on the live stream last night for hour 1, we ended that. We ended that stream for hour 1 last night. It was looking like we were getting a nonsensical 6-woman tag match, which would have made Bayley's group look average as fuck and just another 3 spokes on the wheel. You guys know I'm right. Now, it looks like we're going to be getting that 6-woman tag anyway, maybe at Clash at the Castle, maybe 2 times over the next couple of weeks, and at Clash at the Castle. Who knows? But you're going to get that 6-woman tag probably repeated amount of times. But I was totally against doing it immediately last night. I mean, Bayley's group just got together, and they're already being thrusted into a 6-woman tag on their first night on Raw. I mean, you could not scream they're nothing more than average than that. And they're not average, so don't treat them that way. So when I ended that stream and we came back from break and I found out that it was one-on-one, yes, I thought, damn, save that for a pay-per-view. But then I thought, you know what? At least it's one-on-one. Showcase Io. Please give them. Right? This is where match time, you want to at least give them more than 10 minutes, man. I'm not saying you got to go 25. But this is where, yeah, the couple minutes of match time, like I said earlier, that you applaud that. That's cool. Something like Io and Bianca, yeah, that's where you applaud. That's where you give that match time to. If you're going to do it on free TV, which, again, I'm against. But because I thought I was going to get a 6-woman tag, I was like, fuck, no, you cannot do that, man. Bayley, Io, and Dakota will not benefit from that. Thankfully, that did not happen, but it looks like it's going to in the very near future, many times over. The third reason it's a welcoming sight to see Bianca and Io was we all remember their banger down in NXT a few years ago, man. So we'll take that again, absolutely. Now, in this match, Corey Graves had to apologize to all of us for accidentally calling Io Shirai, and he caught himself, and he literally says, I'm sorry. He goes, Sky. But he goes, Shirai goes to the top. I'm sorry, Sky. I wouldn't be fucking shocked if Vince McMahon is still in his earpiece from a fucking cell phone, or if he's still backstage somewhere. I bet you Vince McMahon is hiding out in Kevin Dunn's trailer, his production truck. Corey Graves still has Vince yelling at him. It's Sky, Sky, damn it. Damn it, it's Sky. I bet you, bro. I bet you, bro. Because you know Vince is still running this shit, man. I'm just glad Triple H has some type of fucking say, so the shows could be a little better than what they used to be. I'm not getting carried away like everybody else. They're a little bit better. Little bit. When the show went off the air last night, I can tell you honestly, I would never go back and watch that show ever again. Ever. But for this match, man, they gave them 18 minutes, and they showcased Io. Now, yes, a couple of commercial breaks and a fuck finish did ruin it for BC, yes. I don't want to say ruin it, but it tainted it. You know, the commercial breaks really took BC out of it. And if you go back, there was one commercial break where it was picture in picture, and they didn't know what to do. So it actually affected the talent. And you see, because at that point, everybody was out there, Asuka and Alexa, I believe. And then Bayley in Dakota, and it looked like they were all going to come to blows, and then we went to commercial, picture in picture. So they hung around for a little bit. The referee just stops counting, and at that point, they were at a count of 17, so they should have been counted out. But they're in commercial. Nobody knows what to do. Finally, the ref tells them, just get in the ring for a second and then throw her back out on the other side. So you will see Bianca throw Io into the ring, and then Io just goes out to the other side so we can stall some more. But they look confused, like they don't know what to do. And the ref is trying to tell them, it threw them off. I don't know, I call it. It was almost better if you just went to an actual commercial, because they had nothing planned for the picture in picture, except for looking confused. And then again, the fuck finish. It's the second fuck finish, because you just saw Alexa and Asuka earlier get jumped by Bayley, Io, and Dakota. So that's it's a fuck finish in a match that we don't know why we were getting. They were just a tag team for a couple weeks, and now Asuka's taking on Alexa. It's a face versus a face. I mean, this is WWE booking that we always see. But because now supposedly Triple H is in power, we're not supposed to criticize how it makes no sense. And then for the second time, another fuck finish. As everybody just starts brawling. I mean, suits and ties. We have a chaotic brawl, right? Suits and ties. Referees are trying to break up these 6 ladies. And I'm supposed to say, wow, this is epic. I can't say that, man. I can't say that at all. But it was so good to see Io. 18 minutes they gave them. And if you take away the fuck finish and the commercial breaks, man, Io Shirai, Io Sky crushed it in her Raw debut. I mean, she really did, man. If you take away the bullshit of it all, Io Shirai crushed. Io Sky. I gotta remember that shit. I hate these name changes. I hate them. I'm with you, Corey. Poor Corey. I mean, the old commentators are getting confused. I mean, how does anybody not see that? This is just, it sucks just because you want to flex your fucking muscle and you want to just fucking name change. I still got power. But she crushed it, man. I'm so proud of her. I knew she would, and that's just a taste. And hopefully she opened the eyes to a lot of casuals that don't necessarily watch NXT, don't necessarily know who Io is, don't really understand her style. I hope that opened a lot of eyes. That's just a taste. That's not even her best. So she crushed it, man. I want to give a proper salute. And it takes 2 to tango, man. Bianca, we love Bianca on this channel, man. Salute to Bianca. But for Io, and that being her debut on Raw, salute. I would have put that shit on a pay-per-view with a badass storyline. Next up, now we go into hour number 3. This is Ciampa versus AJ Styles. Again, they were their individual winners of their triple threat matches earlier. Now, again, the winner gets a U.S. title shot from Bobby Lashley. Booker T is on commentary, getting a pop from his home city of Houston. BC was thinking, again, the second time of the night, can Ciampa ask Papa H for his first name back? I'm thinking that, like, hey, having some coffee backstage. So, you think I can get my first name back, boss? Triple H is like, I'm not really the boss. I mean, I got some power, I'm able to give you a little bit of a push. But I got to be honest with you. You're fucking Champa for the foreseeable future. A really good match here, man. The better part of 25 minutes, guys. Yeah. The better part of 25 minutes. It was just really good. You wouldn't have known it with Houston sleeping through it. Houston was literally sleeping through this match, so you probably would have thought it was a dud of a match, but it was actually really good. Again, this is a match that I easily could have put a really good feud and story with, or created a feud through the vessel of a really good storyline, and then put that shit on a pay-per-view. Tommaso and Styles, I mean, they showed you what they could do on a Monday Night Raw with a couple of commercial breaks with a dead crowd. Imagine at a pay-per-view with a good build, a good story. Ah, man, it just makes you think what we could be getting. And then is when we're going to actually see change, man. That's going to be real change, guys. I just hope we get it. But this was good, man. Aside from Houston snoring, that was the only... I'm glad we don't have piped-in sound, or at least it didn't sound like there was a lot of piped-in noise, if any, last night. I'm glad we don't have that, but then I heard a lot of people snoring. Houston, wake up, get amplified. The finish was beautiful. Miz puts Ciampa's foot on the rope to break up a pin following a Styles clash. Styles then goes after Miz, clotheslining Miz over the timekeeper's barricade. Now Ciampa then goes to the outside, sends Styles into the ring post, and then over the timekeeper's barricade to join the Miz. Now, Champa gets back in the ring to break up the count and hopefully get Styles counted out because he's still in the timekeeper's area. Styles finally gets up at around 6 or 7. He's got enough time. He goes to put one foot over the timekeeper's barricade. Miz is still over there. So Miz is hiding behind the barricade and holding the other foot of Styles. I thought this was brilliant, man, because the ref can't see it. And just looking at the visual where the camera guy was, I thought that was actually pretty unique. I don't remember seeing something like that ever. So, yeah, I mean, something little like that, I actually thoroughly enjoyed that. I probably would have been okay with him losing just like that, instead of just getting pinned 1, 2, 3. But Miz is grabbing his leg because, again, the ref can't see it. He's behind the barricade. Styles does eventually make it back to the ring, is immediately met with Ciampa's knee to his dome piece, and moments later, Styles is pinned. 1, 2, 3, Ciampa gets a huge W. That has Triple H written all over it, right? Ciampa is who he's really high on, so it looks like he's getting an insta-push. And it makes sense that Ciampa is the heel. Lashley should be facing a heel next week. I thought it would be... I'm not a fan of just face, heel all the time. And this company does it all the time. They did it again last night with Asuka and Alexa. So I wasn't a fan of that necessarily. I don't know about somebody getting a push at the expense of somebody else. AJ Styles does not need to be just continuing to be irrelevant. Tommaso or Ciampa gets his little push. That's great, but why did he have to beat Styles for that, man? And then you go to next week. Are you telling me that Ciampa is now going to beat Bobby Lashley? Like Bobby Lashley is going to lose that title after holding it for maybe 2 months? I forgot. He doesn't even have a reign yet. I cannot tell you any. I mean, he's taken on Theory in a rematch at SummerSlam, and that was it. That's already a forgettable match, by the way. So you can't do Bobby Lashley filthy like that. So do you do a fucked finish where Miz is involved, AJ Styles gets involved, and for several weeks leading in the Clash at the Castle, we just have tag team matches, right? Miz and Tommaso versus Bobby and AJ. And then finally at the Clash at the Castle, maybe we get Tommaso and Lashley again. I mean, is that what we're going to do? Because that sounds like the WWE that I'm used to for 10 years. That doesn't sound like fucking change, guys. That doesn't sound like fucking change at all. Other than a new guy is being pushed. Okay, well, Vince did that for Austin Theory. Triple H is now doing that for Tommaso. That's not that much different. Vince still has the Miz fucking hugging Tommaso like he's a stuffed teddy bear. You know, Vince has to make sure that Miz is attached right there, man, his guy. So, I'm happy for Ciampa, but there's still zero direction for Styles, and nobody wants to talk about it. Styles will be fine, basically. What about Ciampa? What about Styles? I've been asking for over a year, what about Styles? I'm not going to stop now, especially because he's just being overlooked by everyone else. And if he beats fucking Lashley, am I just supposed to go, yeah, Champa, and not go, oh, poor Bobby? How do you not feel bad for Bobby at that point? I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know where they're going with this. BC, well, how would you make it different, man? What do you expect them to do? A story. What did I tell you guys? Storyline. I don't even need all these bangers. I need storylines on the Monday Night Raws and the SmackDown. I need storylines. You could start the night off with Styles entering the fucking arena. He's backstage. He's coming through the parking lot. I don't give a fuck if you do the run over angle like they did with Triple H and Austin or whatever the fuck that was, right? And he gets fucking put through the windshield or he just gets put through a car window. You guys know I love those type of storylines. Rekindle that shit. Shane McMahon, AJ Styles-esque. You just put a little unique twist on it. And you make your casuals go, damn, I didn't know Tommaso had that in it or Ciampa had that in him. And this dude is showing, he's not fucking around. So when Styles comes back, the heat is now on. You make it very personal, very physical, very volatile. You create a story. You do unique things. And that's how you put Tommaso on the map. And at a pay-per-view, we get Styles and Ciampa now. You don't have to fucking do this weird U.S. title shit. And as I said in hour number 1, speaking of the U.S. title, man, it was really cool to see a video package of the U.S. title. It's really cool that we took a moment to act like titles are prestigious in this company because we haven't done that in 10 years. So another thing that you can applaud Triple H with. Absolutely. I'll always give the props where it's due. I'm not saying I'm not seeing any small changes, but I'm not seeing the drastic ones that on day one had to be fixed. Day one, just one storyline has to be implemented last night that captivates all of us. There was no storyline that captivated us. And now we have Tommaso, or Ciampa. I hate this shit. Ciampa's going over to Bob Lashley. I don't see how anybody wins here. Other than, I bet you they're going to do a fuck finish, and we're going to get weeks of tag team matches. Lashley and Styles, Miz, Ciampa. And if that's the case, I'm seeing the same WWE that I've always seen. And everyone's going to go, change takes time, basically. You're right. So let's just do rematches. Or let's just do fucking stupid, nonsensical tag matches. Because it takes time to get creative, evidently. This is what I'm being told. It takes time to switch creative plans. When back in the day, Vince McMahon just fucking rip shit up. Minutes before the fucking show, Vince McMahon's ripping up scripts and rewriting it. But no, for Triple H, it takes months to switch up creative plans, basically. Keep telling yourself that. Don't tell me how to do what I do. I know what I'm critiquing, and I know it's justified. Next up was a main event tag title match, Usos versus the Mysterios. This is just a rematch, too. We've seen this several times. Money in the Bank last year, SummerSlam last year, SmackDown June 4th last year, 6-man tags, 5 times televised 6-man tags. Change, man, change. And by the way, the Mysterios just beat fucking Judgment Day at SummerSlam, and that gives them a title match. I mean, this just seems like the WWE that we're used to. I mean, is nobody else going to be truthful and honest, or are we just putting on rose-colored Triple H glasses and going, there was a different feel last night, basically. This tag match felt different than the other 17 times they were in the ring. Usos win with a 3D, 1D, HD, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Over Dominic. Post-match, Balor and Priest jump the Mysterios. Edge hits the ring to even up the odds. Edge goes to spear Balor, I think it was, and Rhea Ripley pushes Dominic into the line of fire, and Edge spears Dominic, I believe is what happened. And then the show ends with Edge chasing Judgment Day. Or they're through the crowd, or they're just really hungry and they're trying to get up to the popcorn stand before it closes because the show is over. I don't know what they were doing, but the show ends like that, and I'm just like, well, fuck, I still don't have a storyline I give a fuck about. Fuck, we have a whole new pay-per-view we're building toward, and I don't have a storyline that I care about. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for the world. I'm not asking you to move mountains. I don't want to hear change takes time. I'm just asking for a fucking storyline on a 3-hour show that gets me excited. I saw so many people going, I'm so excited for Raw tonight. And I'm like, what are you excited about? Some minor changes. Why? Does that really excite you? I mean, has life really hit you that hard that that's what's exciting you? Triple H might have a little bit of nuggets of change tonight. Don't get excited for this shit. It's not a Mojo Rawley situation. I don't get hyped. I stay hyped. No, we don't stay excited. You have to get us excited. When they give us something exciting, we'll be excited. You never, Amp Unit. If there's one thing I can teach you, never go into these shows excited, expecting fucking. Don't go in with high expectations and being that excited or excited at all. They will let you down. I'm asking for bare minimum expectations. Give us a fucking storylines, man. Fun ones, anyway. A storyline isn't wrestlers facing each other every week, by the way. I think some newer fans don't understand what a storyline really is because they've never seen it. The last 10 years, we don't really get them. So people go, well, basically, what do you mean? They've been feuding for months. Wrestling each other every week in different variation of matches, one-on-one, tag team, triple threats, beat downs every week, backstage, yelling at one another, promo. That's not a story. I don't know any other way to say that, right? It's barely a feud. That's called redundancy. That's called lack of creativity. That's not a storyline. That's not. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing fun being done. If you make it different, if you try new shit, if you do something so unique, we're like, wow. Yeah, I remember back in the day, man. True story. Jake Roberts was in a feud with Macho Man. He used to carry around a snake. He tied Macho Man in the ropes, and he took his snake, and he actually had his cobra bite Macho Man. Funny story, too. Well, yeah, it's my channel. I can tell this. Jake Roberts tells a funny story. Macho Man was always kind of neurotic. When he got to the arena, he would take a whole fucking keg of coffee, and he would go into his own dressing room. And Jake went over into his dressing room to make sure to go over the plans of when the snake bites him. Macho Man was like, he's not venomous, right? He doesn't have poison, does he? And Jake Roberts is like, no, he's good. Trust me, he's good to go. He's got no poison in him. Well, he better not, man. You let him bite you then, man. He ain't gonna bite me. You let him bite you. And Jake goes, I don't see why I gotta be bitten. I'm telling you, he's not poisonous. You gotta believe me. Oh, no, man, I ain't gonna believe you. I'm not going out there and passing out, man. You're gonna get bit first. I wanna see it. I wanna see him bite you. So that's exactly what happens. Jake Roberts had to get bit by his own cobra backstage. This is just a personal conversation. Macho Man wanted to see the cobra bite Jake. Bit Jake. Jake was fine. So Jake tells the story that when it was time to film, man, this was on, I believe, Superstars of Wrestling. Macho Man is now in the ropes. Jake turns around. He slaps the top of the head of the cobra to piss him off. And he fucking now angrily bites Macho Man, and he sticks in it. He could not shake him off because he was pissed off that Savage had him bite himself with the cobra. So he slapped the fucking head to really anger him, and he was locked into Macho Man. My point is, back in the day, you had awesome shit like that. That one moment told you gotta now watch the pay-per-view. You have to see this fucking match. That was nuts. I remember back in the day, they used to have the funeral parlor with Undertaker. It was Paul Bear's talk show. And it was like a funeral parlor. You had the music playing, the Undertaker's music, caskets, the dimmed purple lighting. It was always so cool. Hulk Hogan was on it one day, and Paul Bear is talking shit to him, and Hulk Hogan's trying to fucking be the better man. Out of the casket from behind comes the Undertaker, beats the shit out of him, rips the cross from his chest. You don't do that shit. Andre the Giant did that years beforehand, and we knew you don't touch that. That was just that was just a moment. Speaking of Jake Roberts, I remember when he fucking had Ultimate Warrior He locked him in a casket with a casket full of snakes and warriors trying to get out. Get me out! Help! Get me out! Pounding on it, and Jake Roberts is standing there. The Undertaker towering over it with Jake Roberts. Oh, yeah, sometimes the lessons in life is you can't always get what you want. Yeah. And now what you're going to do is you're going to learn the hard way. And it was just, I'm like, wow. I'm watching this like, dude, get it. What the fuck? I'm giving you old school shit. I'm not even talking late 90s Attitude Era into the 2000s. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking fucking 90s. What hooked a lot of us into wrestling. This is when they had a 1 hour show. You weren't getting 25-minute bangers. These matches were maybe 5 minutes, but it didn't matter. The Big Boss Man could be in action, but all of a sudden, Nails. They would promote a Nails storyline through a Big Boss Man jobber match. This is a jobber match. Big Boss Man versus fucking dipshit Guggenheimer. But Nails would come onto the fucking loudspeaker. Boss Man, I'm gonna get you, Boss Man. You locked me away. And Boss Man's looking all over like, who the fuck? Because Boss Man put away him. He was an ex-convict, and Boss Man's the one that locked him up. That's fucking, what? That's epic. You know, you could tell storylines just from jobber matches. You just got unique. I don't know what's happening on this show that is captivating you guys. I mean, unless you're just like trying to convince yourself that this is exciting. So I applaud the little changes, absolutely. And I know Rome wasn't built in a day, and it's going to take a while for all the changes, and you're never going to stop changing, right? If you're a good company, you're always evolving. But day one on the job, you have to change your formatting and your storytelling. It has to become storytelling. That's day one on the job. We gave a whole week because, okay, SummerSlam was pretty much in the fucking bucket for Vince. Last night, we had to see a storyline take shape that is going to grasp all of us. That's what we were told, right? Leading into it, hours before, the big news story was something big's happening on Raw. That got everyone excited, right? It's going to be a statement show, I think was the wording. It's going to be a statement show. What was the statement? It's a lot of little things. It's not a statement, man. That's a show that literally, BC, and I know if you guys are being honest, you guys will never go back and watch again if you had to, or even wanted to. You wouldn't. There's not even a moment, as much as I love EO even, there's not a moment even that I would go back and watch from that Raw. Back in the day, I'm going to skip. I was talking a lot about the 90s and just storylines there from just jobber matches or 5-minute matches or just having a 1 hour show. But if I can fast forward to the Attitude Era, you know, those Raws, it was almost in a pay-per-view kind of way. The next day, you were going back and trying to find clips of those shows. You needed to see a lot of the clips again. You needed to see it because there was a lot of awesome moments from the Raw. You can't say that the last 10 years, and even with H and these small changes so far, I can't say that I would watch anything from last night again. I know that's a harsh critique, guys. I'm staying optimistic. I'm staying hopeful for big change to come. It should have happened, the storyline, at least one storyline, but I'm staying optimistic. I'm staying positive, believe it or not. But, you know, somebody in this community has to stay real. If I have to be the last one to be such, then I'll be such. But I'm not going to go all in on WWE. They have not earned that. And they have to earn it with BC in my amplified unit. We just don't blindly go into any show with excitement because we're told there's a new regime. You have to earn our trust to believe in you again. BC Amplified. That's your Raw 8/1/22 review. I'll see you guys a little bit later this afternoon, right? I can fucking speak. Is it this afternoon? Yes, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Amplified Live. Hopefully I'll have more information about the rest of the schedule. Usually it's Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Wednesdays. We do not do Amplified Live. That might have to change this week. So I'll have more. Hopefully we'll have the Raw rating. We'll see. There was a lot of excitement and buzz before the show. Even talk that Sasha Banks may be showing up. So I'm expecting the rating. That could still be around 1.8 bare minimum, like least. This is a company that was fucking around with 1.5s not too long ago. So the buzz is still there from the McMahon investigation, leading into the Triple H and Power thing. People are excited. I just don't know if the content is matching that. But hopefully I can have that rating with you guys, and I got a couple other stories for sure that I want to discuss. I'll try to keep it within an hour time frame. Amplified, man. Until next time, which is later this afternoon, I have to have a jobber outro, just like a jobber entrance, because Sasha's still not here. It's very early, so you're going to have to forgive that. For now, think, be, live, amped always. Top guy, and I'm fucking out. Check you.